Thank you for joining us for this video from Grow and Give, a modern victory garden project. Grow and Give will help you learn to grow food, share the harvest, and keep it local. The following video is taken from an excerpt of a live webinar on protecting the garden from animals. In this short video, Carol Amira from Boulder County Extension is going to teach you about protecting your garden from raccoons.
Aren't they adorable? I do find them really cute to look at. They're a little unnerving to see coming around the yard though, and it's for a couple of reasons. Biologically, it's important to note that they usually have their young born in April or May, and the mother will keep that family unit together. So if you have one raccoon, chances are you have other raccoons because the family unit will stay together and they will forage together. They are omnivorous. So that means that they're going to eat both, animal and plant matter. So the animal matter that we're talking about is, yes, they'll eat insects, but they'll take the fish out of your ornamental pond and eat that. They will eat, if you have any pet food that you leave out, say you have, dogs that you feed outdoors, that's a real attractant to raccoons. They'll come in and look for all kinds of different, grains or fruit. They really like grapes. They like melons. They will scavenge on your compost pile. And if you're having a problem with grubs in the lawn, one of the things we tell you to look for is that the raccoons are just peeling that turf back in order to get to those white grubs. One of the saddest things for my area is we still have raccoons in the area to the point where I can't grow any kind of corn. This is something that we really would like to do, and we keep trying it because we think, oh, maybe this is a year where we don't have any raccoons, but we're near enough to a golf course that we always are going to have them, I think. So they like corn, full stop. They like it, and they can tell when it's ripe before I can. They will attack the corn and they'll pull the stalks over and they'll rip the ear off and they'll eat it. And then they just, toss it over the shoulder or something. And I go out in the morning thinking that today's the day I'm going to be harvesting fresh sweet corn. And instead, my backyard is strewn with the empty carcasses of all these ears of corn. And I look at the corn stalks and they've been, bent and damaged too. So I don't even really get the opportunity to let those dry in place for an ornamental purpose. So, they'll go after plants in ponds or ornamental ponds or water features. This sort of thing this is an animal that will go after anything. And they're supersized as a pest for us. They're supersized, first of all, because they are members of the bear family. They're related to bears. They are wicked strong, fully capable of taking care of themselves, defending themselves, and they can be really vicious. So this is something that is a caution. It's a caution for us ourselves coming upon raccoons when they feel cornered. It's a problem when we have pets that are, say the dog wants to go out one last time for the evening and you happen to have raccoons in your yard. I often see the raccoons that they're facing down neighborhood cats, and it doesn't end well for the cats either. So this is an animal that we have problems with because of its nature and its ability to defend itself. Further, it is a carrier of roundworms. So this is a parasite that humans can contract. Raccoons do choose an area that they will return to use as their bathroom. And if it happens to be in a bed that you want to use, if they've used it, many, many times, and then you decide, well, I'm going to clean that out and now I can plant my garden, that's a problem. You can't plant into that for 3 years because the insisted form of these roundworms can stay there and be a problem for years and years. Now, if you had a raccoon that came, cruising by and left one deposit, this is not what I'm talking about. You can reasonably be assured to get the soil around the feces as you're lifting it out of there. But if this bed has been used frequently as a raccoon latrine, and that can happen over one winter's time, there's serious problems with trying to use that for a planting. So there are repellents out there that you can get, and they're going to be some of the ones that are kind of like the usual suspects I've talked about here today, with flashing lights, sound producing devices, the sprinklers that are on motion activated squirting, radios, windmills. You could use scent-based repellents like mothballs and ammonia-soaked rope. I'm going to say from personal experience that ammonia-soaked rope is not effective at all, because if they have someplace like a fence that they can climb to get to the area they want to browse in, that puts them around or away from whatever you're putting out there, they'll use it. They also get used to any of these repellents really, really quickly. So we're coming back down to the song of the day, and that is exclusion. That has to do with fencing. The challenge with raccoons is ordinary fences don't work with them. A, they're incredibly good climbers, and B, being really, really strong, they are most apt to just grab a hold of the fence and lift it up, just peel it up so that they can get under and get into what they want to browse upon. They're smart. They will work the fence looking for any kind of weakness, and then they'll exploit it. So there's only one kind of fencing that I can recommend that is effective, and that is electric fencing. Electric fencing, and if you look at this photo here, the design for this is that the wires are stretched. Two wires, one is 6 inches off the ground, the other one is 12 inches off the ground. And this is the design that's recommended to prevent raccoons from getting into a standalone garden, like a corn patch or something. If you have a garden and part of it is abutting the fence, like you have a privacy fence in your yard or something, they'll come over and into the garden that way. So you'd have to stretch the electric wire along the top of that fence. And I'm going to be honest with you that many municipalities, many cities have regulations that say you can't use electric fences within the city limits. So you'd have to check with your city to see if there are any prescriptions from that.
Thank you for joining us for this short video on how to protect your garden from animals. To find more resources from CSU Extension, visit our Extension website at extension.colostate.edu. Here you can search our publications under the Natural Resources category to find more about wildlife. Here you'll find links to Plant Talk articles, which are short and to the point, CSU fact sheets, as well as Master Gardener curriculum. All of these resources are here to help you grow better.